Aunt Julie, Dindy. Uncle Oscar. But here, you know how to work that thing. You talk all through that thing.
What about do you remember one thing I've been meaning to ask you, and while we're here together, I better ask it or I'll forget it again. They he was married to a Daniels, looks like. But do you remember Uncle Rass?
No, I've heard Mama talk about it a lot.
You know, Grandma Mildred always told me that he'd gotten killed in a mine, a coal mine, and oh, well, thank you. Oh yeah, I sure will. It's the time of year for that. But he gotten killed in a coal mine in Henrietta. But at Marshface, kids say that they think it was in Colgate. Do you remember ever hearing where it was exactly?
No, I couldn't rightly say. I'm sure she said it, mentioned it, you know. All I know is, can remember is that she said he got killed, buried in a coal mine.
Yeah. I'd like to find out, if we ever could, where in the world it was, and just know where he's buried at. You know? But he had kids too, didn't he? Or did y'all ever know any
Yeah.
of them? Or?
Yeah. Well, she lived in Illinois. Dewey Hart was her husband. Bertha. Bertha was her name. Bertha and Dewey Hart. Yeah. She talked all the time.
Oh yeah. Tell me about this too, John Paul. I see this on here, and I've seen this in other places. Them listing this Dale Farley Valentine.
Yeah, now I don't know how they got that, but that's Uncle Oscar's daughter.
Okay, I thought so, but I didn't know.
I seen that yesterday whenever I was listening to it.
They got the wrong
Yeah.
parent listed.
Well, what they call it,
A half sister, yeah.
Yeah. She's not that. And I looked on there to see if there's any way that she could edit it, but I couldn't see that.
You know, one of Uncle Oscar's granddaughters, Mary McEvers. Do you know her?
Yeah. Lives in Plano or.
Yeah. She come by and saw me not long ago and brought by a picture. It's a big oval picture. And she said that she got it from Uncle Oscar, or it come from him, and wanted to know if I knew who it was. And I kind of think it may be Grandpa Singleton. I've only seen one picture of Grandpa Singleton, and it was a real bad picture, but this picture looked like him, but I don't know. I need to see if I can pull it up on my phone here in a little bit and see if you recognize it. You may have seen the picture before.
Would
that be Singleton's from Holly Creek?
I hadn't ever been able to figure out
No.
any connection there.
I don't know where that goes. Always finding things.
Seems to me like the picture I seen of him, he was real thin and had a mustache.
Yeah, that's the way this one is. real thin with kind of a goatee deal, and he had a hat on.
Where is that picture at? Oh, it's on Facebook. In that Farley
Okay, in that Farley family
page.
page. Okay. Let's see, who's this here? Willie Mae Farley Murray.
Oh, that's Uncle Jim. That's Aubrey's sister.
Oh, okay. Now, John, I know Theo, and
Well, that's
Aubrey.
her brother.
I know they spent a lot of time, or basically grew up with y'all, didn't they?
Yeah, Aubrey kind of more or less lived with after Uncle Jim died. Well, of course, Aubrey is, is orphan. Let's see, there's Theo, Otis, Oldest, Eileen, Richard, Elsie, her name William Hayden, and Aubrey, and Delia Bell.
Dealey Bill.
Delia Bell was, she died at 6 years old. She had to find meningitis.
Oh, really? I'll be darned. Is she buried at
Probably
Redland?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia? Huh. Well, I sure didn't know that. I'd have never known that.
I said Delia Bell. It's not listed on there.
Oh, is it? Otis Farley. Now I've heard
Delarue. Delarue.
Delarue.
Delarue.
Okay. I've heard Grandma talk about Arthur Farley, but I never have known anything about him.
Who, Arthur?
Yeah.
Arthur had a bunch of kids too, and I can't name them all. That was Uncle Hayden.
Can I get you something to drink? We got
Oh, I'm fine, but
Dr.
thank you.
Pepper,
I appreciate it.
cream soda, water.
I'm good, but thank you though very much. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna sit down. Rest a while.
Now, you and Sterling were pretty close in age, weren't you? Sterling Farley?
Yeah, Sterling was younger than me, I think. And Austin. I would think Austin was closer to my age than Sterling, but now I could be wrong about that.
I kind of got to know Sterling through church, through his wife, through Betty, the Indian lady he was married to.
Well, Sterling been married 3 times.
Oh, was he? I never knew that.
He's got 2 sets of kids.
Okay.
His first wife, well, I think she's dead now, but they had 2 boys. The boys, well, let me sit and think a minute. Chan. Seemed like one of them named Chan. And as far as I know, he lives here. Roy,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Harley,
Yeah, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know Roy. The younger Roy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was Sterling's.
Okay, well, that makes more sense. Well, then, Roy has a son named Brad, and Brad's children are one of my best friend's stepchildren. that makes any sense. My best friend married Roy's son's
Brett.
ex-wife.
Okay.
Yeah. If that
And
makes
let's
any
see, Sterling there's got two more boys. I seen them at Sterling's funeral. They was big, husky boys, and one of them I know was in the service, and I don't remember about the other one, and I don't know their names. But now there's Facebook Messenger. I've run across names, Alan Farley, and which I think is some of Uncle Charlie's
Yeah.
grandkids. And there's a Kim Farley, which was Uncle Charlie's granddaughter. I don't know whose daughter she was. Uncle Charlie had Roger, Jerry, Dale, he had a big family too.
Yeah. That's pretty popular in our families.
Yeah. I can't think of other. And some of Uncle Charlie's, some of the boys, some of his grandkids, I'll say. Now this Jerry, he retired out of service, and I don't know what rank he was, but he was a meteorologist.
Oh wow, that's
And some of the bunches on a radio station in North Carolina or South Carolina, some of us as a meteorologist. Jerry, I don't think's got any kids. He married a German woman. Roger, Pentecostal preacher.
Yeah, I know of Roger. We're friends on Facebook there.
And his first wife was from Jamaica, I think.
Oh really? I
Yes,
didn't know
he
that.
was dark skinned.
Yeah.
Philip, his son, has took over his church. And he's got a daughter. I can't remember her name. I've seen her on Facebook.
You know, it's funny to me that Uncle Roy and Grandpa look so much alike, and then the rest of them didn't quite look alike.
Well,
Yeah.
if you could get all the pictures together, you know, you could see these two favoring, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But were they pretty close, your dad and Uncle Roy?
Papa was close to all his
All the
brothers
siblings?
and sisters.
They went through a lot together. Guess it'd make you pretty close. Did his half siblings, did they come around very much? Like, did he talk about when they were growing up? Were they around very much, a part of their lives?
He never talked about them much because I think they must have left home. I mean, older, they must have left home earlier or something.
Right.
Aunt Emma has got a daughter from her first husband. She married a Willis first time.
Okay.
And she had a daughter. I think the daughter seemed to me like the daughter's name was Lily. And that's it. You see her in the picture of, you know, with that picture of where all of them's there.
Yeah.
And Aunt Emma's standing here on the end, and her daughter's with her, and Uncle Joe Greenidge, her husband at that time, was sitting there. He had a mustache.
Okay. I didn't know that's who it was.
I got a picture under the trunk.
So this was her first husband, then, this Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so he was married 3 times.
Aunt Emma had a son in with Uncle Joe Thurman Greenidge, and he married Stella Proctor, and they had 2 boys, I think, and I'm, cinched up to Greenidge. I'm taking memory pill. I took 2 of them, and it ain't started working yet.
You're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're doing good. What uncle was it of y'all's that lived over? Grandma used to talk about an uncle that y'all had that lived near Holly Creek. That got
Uncle Albert?
Elbert. That's who it was. I couldn't remember that. Saved my life.
Albert and Blanche. Aunt Blanche, when Winfred come up here years ago at one of our reunions and threw his son, she had never been up the plane, and he took her up, and she was way up in years then. But see, they had two kids, Faye and Lee.
Now, where is Uncle Elbert buried? Do you know? He doesn't appear on this list here anyway.
He's not on that list?
Well, unless he's got some other name, I don't see him on here.
Huh.
I can see him in that picture you're talking about where they're all there together. I can see him as plain as day. I know which one he is. I don't know nothing about him, really, other than I know that.
Let's see, Albert. You mean in that picture where they're standing and Papa was holding Edith?
No, not that one. The one I'm thinking of is when they were young, when Papa was young, and they're there with their half brother, and all the siblings are there, and their mama's sitting in the front. I think it was taken when their daddy died. I'm not entirely sure though.
Huh. I don't know if I've seen that picture or not.
I'll pull it up here in a little bit.
Okay. Who is this right here?
That's Charlie.
Mary Emma Green.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna tackle your corner over here or not, John.
Yeah, and that's Uncle Charlie. I thought him and Aunt Julie kind of favored.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah. Do you know about when he moved to Illinois?
Charlie?
Yeah.
Well, they left with the oil fields in the 30s.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Uncle John the Indian. That's about time I guess they all left about the same time.
All right. Do you know where Charlie and them lived before they left here? What did they live down Goodwater area, or was it?
I don't know. I know Jerry's telling me when Uncle Charlie married her daddy got after him with a shotgun. They had to hide or get away or something.
It's getting kind of warm in here, isn't it? What is it, me?
Either way, I'm
on-
fine either way.
I'm on hormone blockers and I get hot flashes every now and then. Get a little heater, it helps
Yeah, that's nice.
cut the chill when it's kinda cool.
That's nice. That's certainly a big old TV y'all got there too. That's
That was
nice.
last Christmas present from the
That's nice.
girls.
You show that to my dad, he'll have to have one.
The problem is having a place to put them. You see
Yeah,
how
that's true.
we had to arrange things.
That's true too.
But John needed it because he couldn't see anymore. He still has trouble seeing, but at least it's better than the other one. It was a 40, 42, 40,
40,
huh?
40.
40.
Well, this
Yeah.
battery dead on this one.
Uh-oh. You need this in here back?
I can't get on Facebook on this one anyway. They blocked me out of it for some reason or other.
So he was living in New Iberia, Louisiana. I didn't know that.
That's Bill Bailey.
That's John David Farley.
Yeah,
Papa
Bill
Pepper.
Bailey. Bill Bailey was his son-in-law.
Oh, okay.
And they left. He moved down there for, before when he got old. He moved down there where the kid was at.
Yeah.
And of course they brought him back up here and buried him.
Well, I sure didn't know that. Learned something today.
Now he had they was my memory pill is not kicking in. There was one of his girls down there that was a hairdresser, beauty operator that I don't think she ever married, and she lived in somewhere up there, that area.
I don't know.
And one of them married Bill Bailey. They come up to the reunion one time. Let's see, I think when it was, what was it? Come on. I got so much stuff up there, this can't come
I
through.
understand. That's all right. It'll come here in a little bit. Be all right.
It was one of the earlier reunions, and I think remember,
Come to when you don't want
but I
to
remember Bill Bailey, and
Yeah.
he wore glasses, kind of. And a chunky Bill. Papa always told me that one of the boys, James, which was great grandpa, John David Rosalie, he had 3 girls and 2 boys. And he always told me that one of the boys died on the ocean, and cost him $400 to bring him on this side and bury him. But I think it's Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because in Tennessee, found Rosalie and Daniel, David, and Mary. There's three girls, and I can't remember the other two's name. Mary she lived in Hayworth one time before she died. And James, and 8 months old boy,
Oh,
which
well.
was my grandpa. Then, whenever they left there and went to Arkansas, the three girls, my grandpa was the only ones that showed up
Oh, wow.
in Arkansas. And one of these girls is descendants and lives in Louisiana. I think it's Louisiana or Mississippi one. Back years ago when I was really digging into all this, she sent me an email and said that her hand-me-down story was that they died and was buried in the Mississippi,
Oh, wow.
which
Wow.
stands to reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Since they left over there and didn't arrive over here. So that's what I've always figured.
Yeah.
And then Aunt Mary is the only one that I can know anything about. She married a white man, and that's where the white ones
Right. Yeah.
come in.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever known anything about is his sister Mary. I always thought it was funny. He married someone with the exact same name, and they look a lot alike too. In the older pictures of them, sometimes those Whitemans will have pictures of our Mary Elizabeth Singleton Farley, and they'll think it's their grandma Whiteman. And I said, no, it's not. They look a lot alike though when they're old. I never knew about this lady right here. This is Carrie Farley Lambert. She's buried at Redland. That's a picture of her.
Well, she must be the Redland Farleys.
Well, she's from Uncle John David here, it says, anyway.
John David.
Yeah, she's a sister to the Ethel Farley Bailey.
Yeah. Okay.
But I never had heard of her.
Well, now she would be one of the girls that come from Tennessee.
Okay.
If she was a sister to Bill Bailey's wife. That's what you said, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's really neat, Uncle John Paul. I appreciate you sharing it with me. I've got it emailed to myself now.
Did you get it?
Yep. Yep. But I was going to ask you too that house that y'all grew up in at Willow Springs down there. Did Grandpa build that house? I was always under the impression that he did, but I didn't ever really know for certain. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you'd ever heard him talk about that, about building it, or anybody that helped him, or where he learned how to build a house, or anything like that.
Yeah, he split the shingles to, way I understand it, to put on the roof.
Wow. Yeah.
Papa was a worker.
Yeah.
I mean, he worked from daylight to dark.
Everybody I've ever met that knew him, that's what they always talk about is him working. I met one man that worked with him at the county, and of course he was already in his 70s or 80s when I met him, and it's been about 10 years ago, and that's what he talked about.
What was his name?
You know, I can't remember to save my life, but he lived at Holly Creek area over there, and
Kennedy Slave Creek. You have no idea.
Well, let's see. John Gray, he worked with John Gray. He worked with Henry Kelly, Marshall Cook,
Oh, he worked with Marshall Cook. I didn't know that. I'll be darned.
This is Marshall. Which one is Marshall now?
Marshall Cook had the cabin up at Taborville across from Grandma
No,
Mildred
he
and
didn't.
He's the one that lived out there on the
Marshall
corner.
brothers.
yeah, he lived on the
House
corner.
caught on fire out there.
What was his name? He's brother to Marshall though. He married a Freeman. They had some girls, and they lived up on Hugo Street, Southwest Hugo Street. What was his name? Henry Cook was a brother to him. But I'll be dead by him. And
Somebody quit till I get
Rufus
my
Providence.
treatment done.
Well, that's all that I can break up.
Yeah, you'll think of others later on. They'll come to you later on. I appreciate you sharing it with me.
Now you talk about Papa, as long as any of his brothers and sisters live, he made a point to see them at least once a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's neat.
I can't say that for his son.
Well, it's a big undertaking with a family that size.
Yeah, always Uncle Oscar was living. Aunt Julie. Uncle Roy. He'd always go down to Uncle Roy's. They'd go down on Mud Creek and fish.
Oh, yeah? Huh. That's pretty neat. They say they went through a lot together, it seems like, anyway, when they were younger.
Papa said one time, him and Uncle Roy, of course back years ago, only way you made any money was make ties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could bootleg. They did none of them bootlegs. So he said they went to the tie woods and got to see which one could make the most ties. Got the racing, you know. And